Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. In this video, we're going to talk about exit plans for particular stocks or cryptos and things of that nature. And this is all pretty much hypothetical, but we're going to kind of just start from scratch here. Several videos that talked about having a plan to exit for Shiba Inu, having a plan to exit for Zion Oil and Gas, having a plan to exit on swing plays such as Tesla, TQQQ, AMC, things of that nature. So we're just going to kind of give you some hypothetical examples of how to figure out what your exit plan should be. Okay, so not telling you to do this, I'm just kind of giving you an example, and this is no indication of my position in any of these plays. I'm just kind of going through what I do whenever I do want to exit a position as far as like a longer term swing and things of that nature. Shorter term swing is pretty easy. I want to see a certain amount of percentage come off of that, and then I'm looking to hit that target, or if it dramatically spikes up one day, well above what I'm looking at getting, I for sure take profits off of that. So first and foremost, I always want to be careful with our money, calculate, the risk, know that you could be tied up into a position for a lot longer than expected, hence ZNOG. So you don't want to put any more money in that you are not willing to lose, okay, or at least temporarily not see for the foreseeable future. So what you want to do when you're starting a position, a longer term position, is kind of create a plan of this is how much I can afford to invest. Not, oh, I have to hurry up and get a bunch of shares. It's do a budget first, find out how much you're willing to invest. Okay, I'm starting to do this now longer term with Amazon. I wanted to just throw everything in there whenever the stock split happened, but I'm like, nope, I'm committed to once or twice a month transferring a certain amount in, buy a few shares here and there, and then my longer term plan with that is once I cash out of ZNOG is to roll a lot of that over to, or not all of it, but some of it over to Amazon and hold for 3 to 5 years and let that accumulate and keep building and building and building. So anyway, just kind of, that's my rant on there. So let's say hypothetically, let's use ZNOG for an example. Let's say you put in hypothetically $5,000 and you have an average cost of let's say 50 cents, or let's say 25 cents, because it's pretty much roundabout where we are. Okay, so that gives you 20,000 shares. All right, so 20,000 shares at 25 cents per share. Okay, all right, and that's going to equal to $5,000. All right, now you look at this and you got to figure out, well, do I want to have all that money in there and wait for a specific price point? Or in this case, maybe you put $5,000 in at once and you're like, you know what, I shouldn't have put that amount in and I really want it out. I feel kind of uncomfortable about having that amount in. So how could I get that out and still yet benefit from a big potential run up from ZNOG? Well, if you think about this, is if it goes from 25 cents to 50 cents, what's going to happen is your value of your position is going to double. Okay, so then you'll have 20,000 shares at 50 cents, and that's going to leave you with $10,000. Okay, so you just doubled your position. Okay, so now what you can do at this point in this situation is you can say, okay, I really need that $5,000 for something else, or you're kind of iffy, you're like, I'm not sure how high it's going to go from now, and this is hypothetical, so don't get mad if I have it such a low price point. What you can do here is make a decision of, I'm going to take some of this money out because now I'm profitable. I just made 100% return. I can take 50% of my position now and sell it. So 50% of that would be 10,000 shares at 50 cents a share. I cannot spell. And then that's going to give me a $5,000 total. So that's your initial investment. Okay. So what you can do now is transfer that back into your savings or do whatever you want with it, or put it somewhere else you feel more comfortable. And now you have 10,000 shares remaining. And let's say that goes up to, let's just say hypothetically, $3.50 a share. Okay, and now 350 times 10,000. That's a $35,000 profit. Okay, now yes, did you miss some profits by taking that initial investment out? Yes, you did. However, that's still a pretty big chunk of money. And then it was actually the house money at that point because you'd already doubled it, and then you took out your initial investment. So the other money that you had was not yours to lose, or there's really no risk to you at that point, right? So if it goes down, it is what it is. It's not your money. If it goes up, even better, okay? Now, if you'd have left that original 5,000 in, then obviously the doubled, you'd have 70,000, which obviously is better than 35, but 35 is still great from a $5,000 investment, okay? Okay, so let's go ahead and let's call this Plan A. And this is what I do, guys, for the longer term investment. That's what actually I did for ZNOG, and I did for Shiba Inu as well, is I have some plans in place for what I'm doing, okay? So now, let's say Plan B is you have, a certain amount of shares. Let's say same scenario here, all right, 20,000 shares, but you want to take some off that, you want to kind of hold for a little bit longer term. So Plan B can be, well, I want to have my 20,000 shares, okay, at 25 cents a piece or a share, and I'm going to sell, okay, at, let's say, if it starts moving up, especially prior to some type of big announcement, then to me, you want to look at around the dollar range where that's going to be some type of big pullback. So let's say $1, okay? Let's, say it goes from 25 cents all the way to $1. That's a big percentage increase. And you got to think percentages here, because the higher their percentage move up on a stock or a crypto or anything, you're going to be due for a pullback because people are going to start taking profits at some point. So one thing you could do is you can say, okay, I may not sell all of it at this profit taking point, just in case it keeps moving. But let me say I take 50%, 50 or 25%. I'll take 25%. I'll take 25% at, let's say, 95 cents. That way, if it hits $1 and falls down lower than 95 or lower than this, then you protected some of your some of the money you cashed out at. So let's say 20,000. Okay, and let's say I take 25% of that, so it's 5,000 shares, and let's say I take that out at 95 cents. So 4,750. All right, I took almost my full initial investment out at that point, and I also have, have 75% of my investment left in here at 15,000. Okay, and it continues to move up. Let's say it goes to, again, $3.50, and then boom, you have a $52,500 profit. Okay, again, all hypothetical, but I'm just kind of giving you some indication of kind of how to break that down. Okay, you could also say, well, that's profit taking point number one. Well, let me sell, when I sell 25% of that, I have 75% left, so which puts me at 15,000. So let's say I want to sell 50% of it, which is 7,500, at let's say $1.75. Okay, and then you could even break down the amount of money that you would get every time you sell at that point to kind of give yourself a visual. So this is 4,750. This here, 15,000 times $1.75 is going to be 26,250. All right, so now you should have now about 7,500 shares remaining in this situation here. Okay, and now sell 100% at let's say 250. Okay, then you can break it down. And you say 7,500 times 250, and that's $18,750. Okay, and then from there you can add all these up to see the amount of money you would have. So So 49,750. Okay, 49,750, and then minus your $5,000 investment. Okay, and this was going to be pre-tax. Okay, so minus 5,000, so 44,750 would be my pre-tax total off of this investment here. Okay, I know I didn't do that here, but I'm just kind of show you kind of how I break it down fully into detail. And I do the same thing. I have a plan in place for Z&OG. Again, this is not my position size. This is not my plan. This is a hypothetical plan. Just used with Zion Oil and Gas because I'm so familiar with it. Did the same thing with Shiba Inu, and I have a plan to take my initial investment out. Cool thing with that is my initial investment is not very large because it's so cheap right now. And then once I sell and take my initial investment out, then there's absolutely zero risk to me at that point. Okay, and so that's, like I said, that's option one. The risk on that option is you miss out on some profit, okay, but it's a little bit safer because you take your money out. Option two, on waiting until it gets to a higher price point, obviously the risk is, well, I want to hold. Well, if it gets to a certain point when you could have taken some money out and it doesn't move where you need it to go and it comes back down, then now you're just kind of left holding the bag, or you miss out on an opportunity to potentially take some profits off the table. So my mindset on, now is the safest place for profit is in my pocket. So with that being said, though, every situation is going to be different, because if a company comes out and releases news, obviously I know that stock is going to move a lot higher than normal. Okay, if a stock moves up on anticipation of something and I'm profitable and that the event hasn't happened yet, I know to probably take some profits off of the table and and put those in my pocket, because the stock could always kind of fall back down. So anyway, guys, I just wanted to provide a little example of how I plan out my my situations on different stocks. I also in detail kind of type up, like, once I cash out of this position, what happens to the money now? Where does it go? Okay, so I have, paying off debt, putting something in an emergency fund, obviously taking taxes out, and some of the money is going to be reinvested, but every dollar has a place to go after this scenario happens. That way, whenever I get it, I don't do something dumb. Okay, I have it on paper, and I have several options to look from to make an educated decision. So anyway, just wanted to provide that for you guys. Let me know your comments below. Other than that, we'll catch you in the next one.